Hello art friends, welcome back. This is Art Imagination with Miss Nikki. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you are all staying safe, staying clean, staying healthy, you and your families. I hope you guys have been enjoying my videos thus far, enjoying the different things that you can make. I hope I'm giving you enough ideas that you can make different things at home using some materials that you may have around the house, recycled materials or not. I hope you guys have been creating some cool things. If they are not mine, I would love to see them. I would love to get some ideas from you guys, or if you guys have thought of things on your own, that is awesome. Remember, Art Imagination is about using your imagination and your creativity, so I hope you guys are doing that and also having fun during this time, enjoying the weather outside, getting some fresh air, getting enough exercise. So I hope you guys are just enjoying my videos as well, making some artworks and using your creativity / imagination. So today I thought we would do an Easter craft. I know some of you don't celebrate Easter. I apologize. I just thought an Easter craft would be nice. It's gonna be a bunny. I love bunnies. Then again, I love animals in general. So this is just a little bunny craft. I actually did this when I was little. I think I did it in Girl Scouts when I was maybe 8 or 9. And I thought it was really fun, super simple, but there are some different materials that I used, but if you don't have them, I have an alternative that you could use. So I have just a number of ways that you can make this one in case you don't have the materials that I made it out of. I have some suggestions, some ideas, but if you don't like it, I also have another project that we can do. I might just show it now, but I don't know if we're gonna have time, so that's why I'm like hesitant about showing it, because I think it's a very good idea, but I'd be so sad if I showed it to you and then we didn't have time to make it. So I'm gonna start off with the Easter Bunny craft. If you don't celebrate Easter, I feel like, you know, it's also a friendly bunny that you could have, you know, just, you know, sitting on your desk or somewhere around the house. So it's also a cute little bunny. I just did mine white. If you want to do yours brown, make it black, or you could do white with some spots. Bunnies come in all shapes and sizes and colors, so please use what you have. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and so I'm gonna just turn the camera. Sorry about my messy art room. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so to start off, so when I made this when I was a Girl Scout, it was basically 2 little flower pots, just like this. So 2 little flower pots, and all they are glued together, just like this, and painted white. Now, say you don't have any like little flower pots at home, that's perfectly fine. I did make this other one in case you don't or don't want to go out anywhere. I totally understand to like buy other supplies. Like I said, I try my best to think of materials that you might have at home. So for this one, it's a little bit more DIY, using some materials that you might have at home. So this one is just 2 basic Dixie cups. So Dixie cups are what you use like when you're brushing your teeth or at the dentist, where you know, get a little sip of water and then use it to rinse and spit. But if you don't have these as well, I am sorry. This is just also a cheap alternative. You could also use some little plastic cups or styrofoam cups if you have them. Any plastic cup would do, or paper cup, whichever you have available to you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do both of these just to show you the different ways that you can make it. So using the Dixie cup one, it's just Dixie cup, markers, regular white paper, and then a cotton ball for a little tail. Now for this one's a little bit extra, or like fancy, I would say. I don't know. But I used a cotton ball for the tail as well for here, but you could also use a pom-pom ball. Again, I don't know if you have that. so I just use a cotton ball. I feel like a lot of people have cotton balls. But here's some pom-poms for the little nose and mouth. There's like a nice little ribbon that you could do to cover up the seams. And then for the ears, I just used regular, this is craft foam. Now craft foam I like because it's sturdier and you won't like bend it, whereas like this ear can get totally bent. But I kind of like that, you know, depending on how you want it. I also made the eyes a little too big on that one. But also, this is paper eyes, whereas this is googly eyes. Again, I'm trying my best to think of things that you might have at home. But this is craft foam. This I bought at Walmart. And it comes in a whole pack like this. Maybe like $3, $4 for all the different colors. And it comes in a whole stack like this. So you get a bunch of colors. But again, I don't want you to buy extra or have to go out to get some things. So I'm just going to try my best to think or use alternative ways. Now the flower pots. If you want to make a stop, I got these at the dollar store. They have them at Walmart too. They're very inexpensive. These were $1, and it came with three for $1. So I thought that was a really good price. But craft stores, they can be a little bit more, like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. They can be a little bit more expensive. So that's why I recommend go to the dollar store. It's just cheaper. They have so much stuff there, especially craft supplies. You can make so many things from stuff from the dollar store. So first things first. So if you have flower pots, go ahead and paint them with white acrylic. And then you could go ahead and seal them with a clear gloss or a clear matte if you have that. Now, some of you may not have that, so that's totally fine. But if you do, or want to go out to buy supplies to do it, I don't recommend it. But if you want to, go ahead. If you need to get supplies anyway for your kiddos to make more art, go for it. But like I said, please stay safe. Stay home if you can. So I'm going to show you using this. But so what I was going to do before is just the head part. But I realized I made one when I was a Girl Scout, when I was little, using flower pots. And it's just 2 flower pots stacked together. But you could use cups as well. So for this part, I used a hot glue gun. It's just a little bit more sturdy. But I know some of you kiddos can't use a hot glue gun. So please ask an adult to do it for you. Or if you don't even have a hot glue gun at home, I totally understand that too. Just use a regular glue. It'll do the job just fine. You might have to be a little bit more patient and let it dry. Ooh, careful. Oops. So you would just have to be a little bit more patient and let that dry. Whereas hot glue gun, it dries in a couple seconds. So you could do either or, whichever you choose. So I'm doing the flower pot one too, just to show you guys. And then let that one sit. So say you don't have ribbon at home. I use ribbon as a way to kind of like cover the seams of my flower pot. So see that dark line where they connect? You could cover that up. So that way it's like kind of like a ribbon around the bunny, or maybe even a necktie. Bunny with a necktie. Peter Cottontail had a necktie. Or I think so. I'm not sure. I think Peter Cottontail, the movie version that I remember, he had a vest and a bow tie. Not a necktie, but a bow tie. So you could do that with the Dixie cup ones as well. You could use a ribbon or just a regular piece of construction paper. I think I'm gonna use the construction paper for this one, just to show you guys. So go ahead with your glue, or, well, make a strip of paper first. Sorry, I'm all out of order. I just had this strip, so that's why I'm using it. And then you're gonna put some glue all on the seam right here. And then you're gonna go with the ribbon or your construction paper. Right over that seam. Now if you have extra, what are you gonna do with that? And if you said cut it off, you were correct. So go ahead, cut that off. Glue those two ends together. There we go. And there you go, you have a nice little ribbon around that section. I'm trying to find my actual ribbon. Where'd it go? I had it here. Oh well. I had a roll of ribbon here. This was a project I was going to do with you guys if you were here, but unfortunately we can't be here together, so I'm very sad that you could not use these materials and take these home to your families. So, but like I said, if you have some craft supplies, that's awesome. I recommend this craft a lot. I feel like it's super simple, especially if you have just two plastic cups like this. Super simple, super easy. Just a way to use what you have. So like I said, I'm just gonna go back and forth between these two things just to show you the alternatives that you could do or make using them. And there we go. Oops, sorry. Cut that. Very good. Now, if you want to get super fancy, if you have like thin ribbon like this, you can make your own bow. You can make a bow just like this. Tying it is a little bit of a learning experience, so kiddos, if you have an adult present, you might want them to make you a bow. You could be like, hey, please, can you make me a bow for my little bunny friend right here? If not, maybe use some string. You could definitely use some string for this part. This is a lot of fancy equipment that I have here. So if you have a nice little bow, go ahead and add it. Whoops. Or you can make one out of paper. So here we go. I'm going to show you. So go ahead, fold a strip of paper like this in half, and just make two little ovals, or just an oval. But this edge is going to be perfectly flat. Then when you open it, it's kind of like this. So this is going to just be a bow tie. So go ahead, draw like a little circle in there. Could add some stripes. You could get super creative with these. You could give your bunny a little hat, a little scarf, little vest, whichever you choose. You just have to use your imagination to find out different ways that you could do some things. So there we go. I got a little bow tie for my little bunny friend. So I'll see, just like that. So next we're gonna work on some ears. So here are my little guys. So for the ears, like I said, you could use regular white paper, or you could use this craft foam. I really like the craft foam. You could also use felt if you have some felt at home for the kiddos, but if you're going the cheaper route or the least expensive route, go with the paper ones. But like I said, I'm gonna just do both just to show you guys. So I'm just using a scrap piece of paper. And I'm gonna show you on the foam. So using a pencil or whatever you have, even a marker, markers, you just gotta be careful not to mess up. So go ahead, you're gonna do a line like this, kind of like a parenthesis. Then go ahead on the other side, you're gonna go down all the way to the bottom. Now you're gonna make another one. So go ahead and make a right parenthesis, then make a left one, all the way to the bottom. Kind of looks like a leaf too, if that helps. So I'm gonna show you on my piece of paper. Do the left one. Oop, can you see that? Oh, I don't want. So we did the left one, or right, sorry. My goodness. Now we're gonna do the left one. There we go. Kind of looks like a leaf. So now we're gonna do the left ear. So do the right parenthesis, then the left one. There we go. And if you want to save yourself some time, go ahead and fold a piece of paper. I think I showed this in my other videos. If you don't want to waste time cutting, or, well, you guys have plenty of time. I only have like 30 minutes left. So go ahead, fold it if you want to do less cutting. That's up to you. Oops. Well, I accidentally did not follow my line, so I'm gonna... There we go. Then you have two right away. You could do the same thing with the foam. It's super flexible. So go ahead. You just gotta be careful on how you hold it. So I've folded my foam in half. And it's a little bit of a different feeling when you're cutting it. It's a little bit thicker, so you might have to go a little slower when you're cutting. And like I said, you don't have to do this, but it just makes things a little bit more symmetrical, I feel like, too. That way you don't have to keep cutting your ears if you don't like the shape of them. Or you have one ear bigger than the other one, or the left is bigger than the right. This kind of helps stop that problem from happening. There we go. Now the reason why I didn't point that at, or actually, there we go. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Sorry. So now you have two like this, kind of equal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip the ends off. The reason why I'm doing this, see, it's nice and flat now. It's kind of like a leaf with like a little bottom to rest on. So the reason why I do that is when I add my glue, it kind of stands upright like this. Or if you want, you could put the ears like this, whatever you want. But the reason why I cut the ends off is just so that it kind of sits in the glue, or sits like upright, just like that. But you don't have to do that. You could have them sticking up. I just feel like it's harder with the points at the end, having something flat for it to rest against the cup or surface that you're trying to glue it on. Just helps a little bit more. But it's, again, whatever you like. So next, what I would do is, if you have either pink paint or a pink marker, I recommend a marker. It's a lot easier. Go ahead and use that. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do the same parenthesis lines, kind of as the pink part of the ear, the inside of the ear. So you're kind of redrawing what you just drew, but on the inside of the shape that you already made. So there you go. color that in. And then go ahead and glue those ears to whatever you're working with today. There we go. If you want one ear like standing up straight, that's fine. If you want one going a little crooked or off to the side, you can. Like I said, you could have an adult use the hot glue gun for you. You could just tell them where to place it. Especially if you guys are in my class before, you know that if we are using hot glue or if something is having a hard time staying, you just ask and maybe ask an adult for help. You just might need patience if you're using regular Elmer's glue. You just might need to hold it. So go ahead and hold it. I know it's a pain, but you know what? It will stick if you just hold it in place for maybe like 30 seconds. So count to 30. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 30. There you go. But not, you know what I mean. Count all the way to 30. So there we go. I'm gonna do my paper ones now. Boop. Whoop. See, paper is a little bit more flimsy. Hey, if you want floppy ears, you could do floppy ears. Bunnies have floppy ears. Well, for the most part. You could do one floppy one not floppy one. See, now this one I have to hold a little bit, or add more glue to the back. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Oop, even then. So maybe... Well, with Elmer's glue, it's going to be even more difficult. I'm using hot glue. It dries a lot faster. So just so you know, just keep that in mind. Oh, see? This is why I don't like to use the paper ones. But if that's all you have, use what you have. There we go. That's kind of in the middle. Oh well. Move it over a little bit. Here we go. These are turning out super cute. Now, say you don't have googly eyes. I'm just gonna draw googly eyes on with a googly eyes. I'm gonna draw eyes on here for you, so that way you could just see that you don't need googly eyes. They are super fun, I get it, but if you don't have it at home, don't go out and buy any. Don't want you to. Just stay inside. Want to give it some eyebrows? Go ahead. If you want to go back to your pink marker, go ahead. Draw an upside down triangle for that nose. And then a backwards J for the left side, and then you're going to do a regular J for the right side. And you could go ahead, add some whiskers. I didn't do whiskers on this one, so these are different, but they're still cute. They're still really cute. Like I said, bunnies are really cute and they're for everybody. I really like bunnies. They are super soft too. Bunnies are really soft. If you've never had the chance to pet one, they are super soft and super furry. They do like to hop around. So that's basically it for this one. The last thing I'm going to do for this one is just the tail. Oop. A little bit of my ribbon fell off, so go ahead. Gotta re-glue that really quick. Okay. Gonna add some glue to my cotton ball. Just be careful if you are using a hot glue gun, but I recommend not, because you are little kiddos. Go ahead, if you're, whatever glue you're using, kind of hold it down. Maybe give it a little puff. There you go. Cute little bunny. Now I'm gonna do this one. You could use paper for the eyes if you want, or you could just draw it. Super simple. So I'm just gonna draw it. If you are drawing on plastic with marker, just be careful, it will smear if you touch it. Because these are plastic. If you use the paper ones, great. You won't have to necessarily worry about that, but I don't know if that's true or not. But with the plastic ones, you just gotta be careful in case of smearing. Like if you rub against it. I'll show you in a second. There we go. So it's gonna wipe right off. So just be careful if you are doing marker on a little bit of plastic like this. I recommend Sharpie, but parents, if you don't trust your kiddos with the Sharpie, just don't let them use it. Apologize, I'm using hot glue guns and Sharpies. It's just what I'm used to. Little eyebrows. Here we go. I'm actually gonna do little whiskers on this guy. I don't like how this guy's eyes turned out. I think I made the middle parts too big. Or just, they're just too big in general. I feel like they're too big in general. But you know what? All of these look different, but they all look great. So last thing I'm gonna show you, I didn't put it on my original, but this is just a suggestion. You don't have to do it. I'm gonna draw 2 ovals. Sorry if I'm working out of the camera lens. So 2 ovals, 1 oval, 2 oval. Go ahead and cut those out. And what I'm making is some feet. This is just an extra that you could put. You don't necessarily need it. I just think it looks cute. But like I said, you don't need to have this part. I'm just doing it as an example of stuff that you can add that are extras. Like this bow here, I didn't need the bow, but I did the bow just so you guys could have an idea if you want to do one. So here we go. So for the feet, so I'm gonna show you. You're gonna draw an oval. Hope you guys can see that. So here's an oval. Then I'm gonna do 3 little circles or ovals. You could do ovals too, or 3 little circles. So 1 on the left, 1 in the middle, and 1 on the right. Then go ahead and color those in. And then go to the next one. So oval, circle on the left, circle in the middle, circle on the right. Just like that. Now, if I can recall, when I did mine, I think mine has feet, but I can't remember. I know it's sitting at home right now as we speak, but I think I had my feet face down like this. You can do that too. So you could do it like it's standing on its feet, like that. Oops, sorry. I need to zoom out. There we go. So you could do the feet like that, or you could have the feet like this and kind of make it look like it's sitting. So I hope you guys could see that. There you go. So I'm gonna do it on this one. So I'm gonna, if you wanna make it look like it's really sitting, you could put one foot on this side on an angle. And then on the other side, put that one, whoops, put it on an angle. See? Just like that. Look how cute. So there we go. Now you could do the same thing with the paper. See, I'm just taking 2 folded pieces of paper, cutting an oval using those 2 pieces of paper that are folded. That way I get 2 when I pull them apart. Add a circle or oval. Add your little ovals or circles. I think bunnies have 3 little paws, or I don't know what they're called, toes, or little paw beans or toe beans they call them for cats. They call them toe beans for cats. I don't know why, but that's what they call them. But I think cats have 4, but I think bunnies have 3, but I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. So I'm just gonna add a little glue. Here's my plastic one. Like I said, you don't have to do this. And there we go. There's our bunnies. So these bunnies look very different, but they're made out of the same materials. Except, oh, I forgot my tail on this one. Well, maybe he doesn't have a tail. I think not all bunnies have a tail, but I don't know. I could be wrong. So go ahead, add a little tail. I'm gonna add him really quick. Boop. There you go. Now he has a tail. He's all good now. Ready to hop around. So, like I said, you could go ahead and use Dixie cups, or you could go to the dollar store, pick up some flower pots. There's 3 for like $1. You can make so many things out of the flower pots. There are tons of ideas online, or you could use the little Dixie cups, whichever you have accessible. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to go to the store. I don't really want you guys to go out, especially during this time, but if you want to, or you're going out to get groceries anyway, go for it, but like I said, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. Like, ugh. Like, I would like you guys to make these, but I don't want you to go out extra for them, you know? But I hope you guys like this craft. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So now this next one. Like I said, if you don't celebrate Easter, this is just, you know, a regular bunny craft. It doesn't have to be Easter related. But like I said, I apologize if you don't celebrate Easter. I have another craft for those who don't celebrate Easter and want something different. So this is gonna be a pop-up card. So this is really cool. I'm super excited to show you this one. This one I might not finish in my video, but I'm just gonna give you the basic tutorial on how to do it, because it depends on how intricate you want this. Mine isn't that intricate. You can make it whatever you like using your art imagination skills and your creativity. But I'm just gonna show you how to make a basic pop-up. How I learned and how I would teach my students how to make a basic pop-up. It's just an easy way, and this is a step that you could use to make birthday cards, Christmas cards, happy anniversary cards for your parents. So this is just something that you can make. I already taught one of my students how to make these already, and she made like a book, but like the book popped up, but it was an open book. So that one was pretty cool. So I hope you guys like this one. So I'm gonna open it, show the big reveal. Ta-da! So I'm gonna fold it again and open it again. There you go. So this is just a basic pop-up, and all I did was make a fish bowl, and that's my fish Bowie. I do have a fish Bowie and I love him a lot. I'm very into betta fish, so that's why I used mine for my card. But like I said, use your imagination. You could do a pirate ship, you could do a jack-in-the-box, you could do a flower, like a flower pot, and then a flower coming out of the flower pot. The only thing with pop-up cards is that you have to make it short enough so that way it fits in your card. So as you can see, I actually cut this top part off because I had this on it, but when I closed my card, this part is sticking out. Now I feel like the goal for this project is to try to make something that fits in your card. And it can be hard. It can be really hard and tricky, but you just have to eyeball it in a sense. So you have to like measure. You have to think about what you want to make to put here and then kind of measure it accordingly. So before you glue anything, make sure it's the right size. And if you need to cut things down or make another one from, like, make something else all over again, go for it. You have time. So it may take a couple tries, but I want you guys to try this. This is really fun. Now, I used a piece of construction paper because you do need 2 pieces of paper to do this, because it just makes it a little bit sturdier, and there is going to be an opening. So there is going to be like a little opening, and you don't want that opening to just be like a hole. You kind of want it to be the back. So just be mindful of that. So I'm going to start, and what you're going to need, I'm going to have to zoom out, is paper, glue, scissors. So paper, glue, it could be glue with a paintbrush, or it could be regular bottle glue, or it could be a glue stick. I find glue sticks for this project are very, very good if you have a glue stick, because it's a lot less messy and it kind of makes everything a little bit more smooth. So if you have a glue stick, great, I would use that. So paper, glue, markers, and then scissors. Where are my scissors? Scissors. And then I would get a ruler if you have it. If you don't have a ruler, just use something straight, like you could use the edge of this box, whichever, just something straight. So if you don't have a ruler, use something straight. So here we go. If you don't have construction paper, you could just use another piece of paper as the backing. You don't have to use construction paper. So what you're gonna do, you could do this hot dog style too, or horizontally. You could do a pop-up like that. It would just be a little bit different, but you could totally do it, and it would just go this way instead of this way. This is just the way I'm used to and the way I was taught. So I recommend doing this way. So go ahead, fold it like a book. That way you open it, kind of looks like a book. And then just close it right away. So to make it in the middle, go ahead and use a ruler. I recommend using a ruler. Go ahead, get a ruler, and I would measure, so it's 9 inches. So maybe go between the 6 and the 3. This can be different depending on how wide you want it and how long. So the longer it is, the more it will pop out. So if it's longer this way, the more it will pop out this way. You just got to be careful, because then your object that you want to put in there is going to stick out. So that's why you have to measure and be a little bit precise. Now you could do wide, you could do thin, you could do a really small one if you want at first. So I might actually go a little bit further in. So I might go like this. So all I did was, so the piece of paper is 9 inches long, and I just went to the 6 and the 3, because those seem like they're in the middle, and then I went to the 5.5 and the 3.5. Oh, I didn't go 3.5. So then I'm gonna erase those other lines. So then I'm just gonna measure how long I want my box. So go ahead, if you want to measure like accurately, you could do that. So I'm gonna go 1.5. So here's 1.5. Put a little tick mark. So 1.5. Do a line all the way up till 1.5, and then do a tick mark in the middle, and then you just connect the lines like that. So now I want you, well, you didn't have to connect those lines. Maybe just, sorry. So, sorry, I messed up. So what you could do is just go 1.5, 1.5 on the left and the right. You don't need that necessarily middle line to connect, to make like a little square or box. You don't necessarily need that line, but if you want it, go for it. But just be careful, we don't want to cut that line. All you're gonna do now, do you see? Okay, is cut on that line all the way to that edge, or that corner. Do the same thing on that other side. So that way it looks like this. So when you fold it down, kind of looks like that. Now we're gonna open it. And now it kind of looks like a book with like 2 cut lines. Now I want you to go in the middle, and I want you to lift this part up. And then I want you to pull it kind of towards your left arm. It's kind of like you're lifting up the right side of the book. So now what I want you to do is, there's kind of like an imaginary line right here that you're gonna fold this part on. So wherever that line that you cut ends is where you're gonna fold. Same thing on the other side. So if this helps, I kind of use my 2 fingers. I kind of put my fingers on the inside, and I kind of bend this towards me. So that way I make a nice little crease going straight across. So I hope you could see it on the inside. So kind of like that. And then you're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Now I kind of like doing it this way. You put 2 fingers on the inside, and you kind of fold it towards you. Just like that. And then what I would do is I would fold this perfectly flat. So close your book and flatten everything. Definitely on this middle seam. That's our middle seam that we had here. Now it's up here. So there you go. You have a little pop-up. And this can go for a lot of different cards. You can make anything to fit right on there. You could actually color this to make it look like a present. If it were a present for Christmas or someone's birthday, you could totally make like a little present. So, maybe a little crisscross action. Kind of like that. Oop, there you are. See? Kind of looks like a present. But we're not going to make a present. I'm just going to make whatever, using my imagination. I think I'm going to do a sailboat. So, sailboat. So you just got to be careful. Maybe start off small and make a bunch of sailboats. So, I just did a little quick one just because we are running out of time, and I do want to show you how to attach. So if anything, start off small, because I didn't start off small. I started off big, and it turned out to be too big, so I had to cut some of my stuff off, which I didn't like. And I might have another pop-up project in the future, depending on how long this goes. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Whoops, zoom out a little bit. There we go. Aha, there we go. So I'm gonna cut my sailboat out. Now, where's the sailboat gonna be? I'm sorry guys, I'm a mess today. So, sailboat, cutting out my sailboat. There we go. Now, you might want to color before you cut, but I didn't do that, so go ahead and color. This is just an idea for you to do. You don't have to do this. Like I said, this is just an idea that I had. So I'm gonna do purple boat. See, it's gonna be a little trickier if you color after you cut. So that's why I recommend don't do what I did. I kind of was in a rush. I apologize. So there we go. Do the sails. Ta-da! Whoops. Okay. So now, where's your sailboat gonna be? Is it gonna be in a lake? Is it gonna be on the ocean? Is it gonna be in a bathtub? Wherever you put it, just think about where you're gonna put it. Also, if you don't want this back part to be seen, maybe make it a little bigger. This is actually quite small. But I just wanted to show you that you should start off small before getting big. Like I said, I don't want you to make something all nice and pretty like I did. Whoops. I made something nice and pretty like this, and then I had to cut it down because part of it was popping out. So I didn't like that. So if you want to do a fishbowl, you can. You could do a bubble, you could do a present. If you have someone's birthday coming up, go for it. Here, I don't like my sailboat. No. I'm sorry, I'm all lost in train of thought. Or train of thought. I don't know. There we go. Whoops. Also be careful where you get that glue. If you get it somewhere else, please wipe it off as fast as you can. Because if you get glue somewhere else, it will stick to the top part. And then if you try to open it, it'll rip. So just be careful about that. So when you're gluing something down, make sure this bottom edge matches up with this bottom edge. So don't go right on that seam or that line that we have right there. I'm gonna draw it with pencil so that way you guys can see it. So there's my seam. Because that's folding. We want that to fold, and if we have an object right on top of it, it's not gonna fold. So go above that seam. So go above that line that I just drew. And also, if you did something that has sides sticking out, be careful. Okay, I'm gonna actually, aha, okay. Sorry, backtrack. I wish I could delete this part. Okay, I have this other fishbowl that I made that I did not like. So this bottom edge is gonna match up with this edge, but we're not gonna go right on it. They're just gonna meet right at the same line, or above that line, I should say. Because if we do it overlap, then it's gonna turn out all bended. Whatever you made is gonna be bended a little bit, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna do a little quick fishy. So, oops, sorry, I should do this in front of you. So I'm just making a little quick fishy. Just to show you, if you want to make this, that's fine. Totally fine. I just didn't like my sailboat idea. I don't know what I was thinking. It's a little harder, so that's why I chose with something a little bit more simple. Just be careful with circles. If you are doing a circle, you might have to cut the bottom, so that way it meets up with that bottom edge. So go ahead, and you're gonna put glue on this part, not the top part. So I'm gonna draw a purple mark. So this separates. So see that middle line right there? That's our separation line between kind of like the sky and the ground, or in my case, I did the kind of like a kitchen wall and then a tabletop. So it's kind of like the wall and then the table or ground, whichever you're having your object rest on. And so on this bottom part, add a couple drops of glue. Or spread some glue around. You can use your finger. Just make sure you wipe your finger off, or hand, wherever you got the glue. And then just lay it on here. Don't glue straight on here, because then you'll have glue all on this side, and that's just gonna stick to your top part right here. So go ahead, glue that down. And if you need to pop this up a little bit while you're gluing it, maybe pinch it to that back part. See where my fingers are? I'm inside that little kind of like cubby, and I'm pushing the fishbowl up against it. Now, like I said, I recommend putting 2 pieces of paper together, so that way you don't have this gaping hole in the back. We don't want that. So go ahead. Actually, I would fold this first. Fold whatever piece of paper you're using for your backing. Like your book, like the same thing that you did beforehand. And then you would glue this right in there. So what I recommend is you put glue right in here first. Maybe skip a little piece for your middle part. And then put those corners right into each other. So those folds, put them right in there. So kind of like putting a book within a book. It's kind of like that. And then if you have glue, sorry, I'm moving this paper all around. If you have glue in there, wipe it off. Like I said, glue stick is a lot better for this. So if you have glue stick, great. I would use that. That way you don't get all this sticky glue all over the place and then things rip and then you're sad. So then give everything a good press. Oops. So see, I didn't glue the whole thing yet, but give everything a good press once you're done gluing everything. And then you're able to lift it up. There we go. See? And you could do this with any object that you create. It could be a spaceship going into outer space. There could be an Earth down here, and then it looks like it's launching into outer space. It could be a pirate ship. The back could be this, the sea. This could be some of the sea. Whichever you choose. You could really use your imagination, and if you guys do make this project, please send me pictures, or when you see me again, please show me all the pictures that you used to create your projects. I would love to see your work. because I love the things that you make here, and I would love to see what you guys make at home, whether it's my projects or not. So, here we go. Oops. Hello, me again. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's project. I hope things weren't too difficult for you. I hope they were things that you have around the house, whether it's just regular computer paper, construction paper, plastic Dixie cups, paper Dixie cups, flower pots if you have them. Like I said, I'm sorry if you don't have any of these things. Like I'm just trying my best to think of ideas of things that you could do at home. If you want to search on the internet, you also could do that, but I also love it if you watch my videos. Like I said, I love doing this for you guys, and if you do these projects at home, I would love to see what you guys create and how you did things differently, and like I said, using your imagination, whether it's creating a card or creating a bunny, just using your imagination in different ways. So if you don't have Dixie cups like this, you could use toilet paper tubes. I love using toilet paper tubes for everything. I love using toilet paper tubes for crafts so much because it's things that we're gonna throw away anyway, and it's stuff that we can recycle and make something different, something new, and something beautiful. So like I said, please use your imagination at home. I love it when you guys do that in here, so please use it at home if you can. I'm trying my best to give you some ideas and some inspiration of things that you could do, but I can only do so much because we're apart. So I miss you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed last week's, and I'm looking forward to shooting my next video for you next week. So stay tuned and I'll get back to you soon. All right, bye-bye.